Well, hello and welcome back to the episode of Evospace. Last episode we started the game, made a basic setup, and today we're going to continue our little Isekai adventure. Everything here is just as we left in the last episode. Now I have to do is just to wait some research to complete it. Most have been completed, and now I want to actually automate the extraction of ore, because going back and to get it is a little annoying. So for that we're going to require to make at least one mining drill that I on here that require 19 pieces of it, and then some more and some conveyors. I guess I'm gonna have to actually expand my system here before that. So let's make some heat pipes, but for that I actually require more more copper. Just one is not going too fast, is it? So let's make 3 here and start to redo some of the setup here. Of course, you can choose to not actually wait for the ore to be refined. It can be smelted into the copper plate as it is. However, you probably notice that it takes more time the less refined it is. The basic ore takes 9 seconds, while the impure gravel 6, and the impure dust, that is the one we can make now, 3.8 seconds. So even though we are kind of wasting some power here processing it to gain just a little bit extra, it actually makes things go faster in here. See, a lot faster. But for now we don't care about it, so let's just put everything here and cook it. We are still far from it, but already have something. So let's make a new small setup, shall we? First I'm gonna have 80 copper pipes. And start making a little shape here. It might seem strange, but you're gonna understand it very soon. And in this shape here is my little setup going to be. How so? Because the first step of the process is to hammer it. So I'm going to need to put a hammer somewhere like here and power it. The heat pipe, as the name say, can transfer heat from one source to many sources. So this way it can power this stealing engine to make this work. Now the next step is to got this one here as well. Now place it down. This time we're gonna make it facing the output from this direction here and put another one here. Now with this setup here, I can actually make another copper macerator and stealing engine and put it on the opposite side of it. So kind of a mirror. Ta-da! And now, for last but not least, let's take the furnace and put down here. Pretty nice. Now that's left is to put all the arms. First I'm gonna put one army. Yeah, this is not right actually. It's supposed to be here and here. Yeah, you actually one to the front. You go here, and you go here. And you're going to take from the hammer and put into the macerator. The macerator put into this stone smelter. Same thing into the other side. Now just need 2 extra arms. One to remove from the stone smelter. And other one to put into the hammer. But for now, let's just wait. The problem is that if you do the math, this one will require 600 kilowatts. This 400. So together 800, 1040, and plus this one here 1080. The normal stone furnace only gives 1 kilowatt, so I would need 2 of it. However, I already unlocked the copper version that it produces the twice amount of heat, but also use all the fuel twice as fast. No, there is no loss because it will just make it work more faster. By doing this, even though we're going to have a little loss here into the heat pipes, we're going to end with more. Gonna end with enough power to power everything here. As you can see, the production is 2000, the consumption 1.6, 1.5. Now, here produces 2 gravel almost every time. It is given to 2 different macerators. It's going to feed into a single stone smelter, and as you can see, it's actually fast enough to do both without it clogging up. So now we have double my copper production with a very minimal setup. That's nice, isn't it? Now I'm just going to wait to get more resources to start to automate the rest of it, because we're going to need a lot of copper to make the drills and the thing to power it, and also conveyors to bring it. But as you can see, conveyors use the parts, so it's a good idea to actually start doing more parts. And the research is complete. Now you can research even more stuff. This one is expensive, but it's gonna be useful for me to decorate everything. Alright, that time has passed, and I have some plates to store and a lot of parts as well. So I guess we can actually start doing it. Let's put some more plates to become parts, and first I need to actually maybe bring the copper or the coal. Probably the copper. We have the vein right around here, and this is something that I need to explain from last episode that I forgot. The ore has been completely revamped and now follow more real life counterpart. You don't find copper in the world for malachite, chalcopyrite, and this stuff. We don't find more iron. We found magnetite and other types of iron veins. We don't find any more aluminum. We found bauxite and ruby to make it. And so we don't find any more uranium. We find Torini somewhere. So now the ores are a little more realistic. We have the vein around here. Now let's make a little platform like so. Now let's build the drilling rig and also an atmospheric condenser. And one steel engine that is going to require to power it. And one arm. Now here you can see kindly into the top of the screen what the drilling rig is going to harvest. It's clear here malachite. As I get away from it, it changed to stone. So you need to go into the around the area of the vein to actually be able to put it down. If you don't, you can't choose the resource like in the past anymore. So be aware of that. And if you are into the line between the ore and stone, go a little bit more on the ore, because it's a big 3x3 structure, so it might end up into the outside the ore. Now let's place it down here. The drill. It's going to harvest malachite, but it requires power. For that, it's going to use the stealing engine, as you saw before. Power here. Now let's give it a stone furnace to provide the heating, and one arm like so, facing it. Now let's build a new machine. That is the automatic farm. It's going to produce a lot of materials, so you can place down here. Now let's need to make this a little bit bigger. Let's put the farm here with the input for water facing me. Now let's select the wood. Now it requires only water. That's why we made this. Is we're gonna grab water from the atmosphere. So you can place it into the output, into the input, and everything. This don't require power, but it's going to work slowly, and if it has power. Now it's going to start to produce water, and this is going to produce 15 water logs every 100 seconds. So it's going to take a while for it to actually start. But if you pay attention, this system here is closed up, because wood into a stone furnace burning for 20 seconds. We're gonna gain 15, so it can burn for 300 seconds. And this only takes 100 seconds to produce another 15. So this is going to be able to keep itself by its own. So we can say that for now, copper is being harvested automatically. Of course, you probably want to bring it home, but for that, going to require a lot of conveyors. Let's see how many we would require just to get around here. For some reason it's not showing correctly. 5, 10, 11, 20. Just to get here, about 30, and then more to complete. And I can make it. I could make it now, but for now let's just keep it as it is. I'm gonna put a chest here to receive the malachite, and it started producing ore for us. And now this is going to produce copper for us non-stop. All I have to do is to come here and collect more when I need it. And this is over. We have more copper. Yay! Let's make more parts. Yay! I just have to do the same thing for the coal here. To collect coal. So let's start with the basic structure. So I'm going to make it a lot bigger than before. Like so. Drilling rig. One farm. One condenser. One army. One engine. And I already have the stone furnace. There we go. Same stuff. Coal ore here. Steel engine, furnace, arm, farm, and condenser. You make water, you make wood, and you, my friend, make coal for us. But for coal, we have more plants because there's something better than coal, that is coke. For that, we're going to require to make a copper oven. But also going to need to make a copper furnace. Yes, you read it right. Because there is some problem here. Let's make a chest here to get the coal. Let's put down here the copper oven. You're gonna notice that they have some red dot on it and some output. Because when you place down here, you'll notice this gap here. And as you can kind of see here, there is a heat input here because these require heat to work. That's why I made the copper furnace. It's going to require 2 kilowatts of heat to do anything. So for now, I'm going to actually need to do this. Let's make another army. In this case, 2 armies I need at least. One to insert it. It's going to see that there's a recipe here to make 10 coal ore into 20 coke and take 1 minute for it. There's actually many recipes to make coke here, but for some irony, the basic ore is one of the best recipes because it turns 10 ore into 20 coke. The one that gives the most ore to ratio is the gravel to coke, and to gain a little extra. However, the creosote is lower. This is something they're gonna have to discuss after we made our first batch of it. As you can see, it gets consumed, but it has not started producing because it requires the heat here. So let's give it a coal and it should start working. But we probably won't. It's not gonna be enough for it. Gonna require at least 2 or more, I believe. As you can see, it takes a very long time. 1. Yeah, gonna require at least 3 coals to actually complete the first fetch. But after 80, things are gonna get a little bit different. So let's... oh, this is done already. Let's go there and grab some more malachite. Thank you for the stacking of the malachite. And you continue working here. More copper, more parts. And you should be close to be done. Yes, it's done. I have this creosote here. However, if you look at the tooltip, it has a total height of 160 kilojoules. But it's a fluid, so it's going to require the correct furnace for it. That's why I already researched the copper fluid furnace. Not only it burns a lot stronger than the solid copper version, it's also going to consume the creosote. So we can kind of make it a closed system, or even more. Let's give some copper containers and some pipes. Now this here is the output of the creosote. As you can see, it is here. Let's take this out here. Put the food furnace, heat on top and insert into the back, like so. And let's run some pipes around here, here, and then finally here. And now it has started to feed itself on its own. Now this is kind of a closed system. However, it's going to start producing more creosote than it uses, because you can see that almost it's getting close to half done, and this is just beginning. Now the other arm here, that's going to retrieve the coke and put it into another chest. And coke is a lot stronger than the normal coal. Coal is just it burns for 36 seconds. The coke is going to burn for 60 seconds, almost double the time. So this is going to last a lot longer into our furnaces here, either to research or to make more products. So I don't need you here. Let's going to eat this here, and also going to require some of it here as well. But now you have a kind of an idea. And there we go. Now that left is to actually automate the arrival of ore here, the arrival of coke here to power everything, and things are going to be very nice and moving forward on its own. Thank you for all the copper. You could make more of the system here to produce copper even faster, but let's not do that. The next step is to research stuff to actually get to the next tier, that is steel. So let's go to the base key here, and we're going to need steel production. It's going to open a lot of stuff here, but I'm not seeing the one that I actually need. I don't need to actually research steel production? Don't seems to be the case. So, oh well, it's okay. So I guess we did enough for one episode here. I have made my little setup here and show you how to automate the extraction of ores, and also make it cocky to power everything later on. So I think it was a good episode. So I'm going to end it up here. So this was On God. Thank you so much for watching.